I love you.
Everybody loves a baby.
I love it when she smiles, but I also love it when she frowns and when she cries even. It's like I'm besotted.
Congratulations.
5 couples share their journey of a lifetime. What it's really like to have a baby of their own for the first time.
I'm just so overwhelmed that she's here and she's safe and she's healthy.
To love like they've never loved.
Imagine feeling all the love you've ever felt in your life and then just having all of that in one shot.
To think the unthinkable.
Just stop crying, otherwise I'm just going to walk out the door.
If I didn't love her as much as I did, I would have walked away.
Shut up. No, Charlie, I'm sick. Oh my God.
Newborn babies test strong relationships.
I was going mad.
A baby in the house means a whole new life.
Jesus Christ.
Breastfeeding.
I enjoyed every moment that you were breastfeeding.
It was just really, really painful. It was awful.
As their relationships are put to the ultimate test, these couples find out what they're made of. Now that baby has come along, our couples are seeing each other in a different light. The romance that used to come easy no longer does. 2's company and 3 can be a crowd. As mummies put babies first, daddies have to wait their turn.
The man always cares about when it comes to sex, and it's obviously, I think the man's like the rabbit in the relationship, aren't they?
His needs were really at the bottom of the pile. And that's how it was. It was my needs and Harvey, and then him next.
In a situation where you've just had a baby, it's a very emotional time. And it's not a very physical time because, you know, the woman's body is it's just been through a major trauma.
It's quite strange having sex in front of the baby.
Poor thing. He's a bloke, he'll be right.
I mean, that said, it didn't really stop us.
Sometimes she might just do something else, for example, just to tidy me over, if you know what I mean.
Once upon a time, before baby Harvey, Lynn and Charlie were as loved up as it's possible to be. In the honeymoon phase of their love, they were on Easy Street. Raising a baby was going to be a doddle, or so they thought. Obstacles were for the distant future.
It's a long way up.
It's not that far, babe, but we can make it.
The birth of baby Harvey changed everything. Lynn gained a lot of weight during pregnancy, and she took a long time to heal after labour. It stopped their relationship in its tracks.
My sex drive just went from, before being pregnant, being up here, to being down here.
It's 4 months after Harvey was born and the fire has gone out. Lynn and Charlie have stopped having sex.
It is kind of worrying, you know, when you've been with someone for like 2 years and then there's no sex. That's worrying, you know. You're just like, oh my God, is this going to be it for the rest of our lives? We're never going to have sex again.
That was certainly Charlie's worry.
Just imagine having a girlfriend that you haven't had sex with for about 6 months.
Charlie does his talking with brother Dan and mate Brian.
Me and Lynn have argued quite a lot recently. I think it's just because we've both been stressed, both been tired.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times where we might as well just break up, kind of.
Really?
Yeah. I'd never stop loving her. Getting tired of her nagging, getting tired of the situation, getting tired of the little arguments we were having, getting bored of it, to be honest.
I think he'd given up. He was trying, you know, he did try, but then I think he just gave up.
You go to work all day, and you come home, and you want to chill out. Usually, yeah, in the ideal world, you want to relax and you've done your day. However, your partner, obviously Lynn, she's been working all day, she's been at home, she's been looking after the baby. So when you get home, she thinks, this is my time now. Yeah. But you're like, but where's my time? So it's like, neither of you have that free time, really, because you have that baby. So you're at work, you come home, you take the baby off of her, she, you know, just to give her a few minutes. And it's...
I think that's something she doesn't understand. But then also, I got to understand that she's
She is, yeah, she isn't just sat at home watching Jeremy Cole all day going, oh, this is great, you know. I think that's a bone of contention among
We got to work together.
yeah,
I think that's the thing. We got to work together. Having a baby.
What kind of guy are you?
A pleasant guy, I'd like to think. Caring person, caring guy.
I know that he's the most crankiest person in the world when he's tired, but he's the most generous person, and you know, he's a really loving guy, and he's a very caring guy as well.
I don't know, we're both tired, we just both get on each other's nerves.
I think it's a
nothing major.
It's a massive adjustment for you both.
It's those little things, and they just add up, and then it's just like, oh, you just can't deal with it.
I think I know Charlie better than Charlie. I can predict what he's going to do and what he's going to say sometimes, well, most of the time. Yeah, I know him inside out.
For Marilia and David, life is going according to plan.
Hi, David.
In this new parent household, everything works.
When I went to go register B, the registration guy asked me, what's your profession? And I said, I'm a housewife. And he said, I'm gonna write down full-time mother, it sounds better. When did it become bad to be a housewife? It's the best career choice I've ever made, ever, okay? I get up whenever I feel like getting up. Even when she gets up, I'm like, we're gonna stay in bed a little bit longer. Then I cook all the things I feel like cooking. You know, I'll like watch the Food Network and be like, oh, I'm gonna make that today. I go out, buy the stuff, and I make it. My husband comes home, thinks I've done a grand job when I've actually done nothing. And money shows up in my account. Who wouldn't want to have that job? I feel like I should have been born in like the 40s so that I could be a housewife in the 60s, you know, or even the 50s, because I do enjoy the traditional gender roles. Oh no. What? I didn't iron your pants. I'll iron them now. I will, David, I'll get up. Yeah, I will.
It's okay now, mate.
Well, you can't go to a thing with crinkled pants.
If I hand iron them now and leave them in a good position, they'll probably be fine.
I'm going, David, I'm going.
It's an important meeting.
Look at his iron shirts. He will wear this. So I'm ironing David's clothes, and it's, I don't know what time it is, 11:30. I like doing it, even though I'm exhausted right now and I'd rather be sleeping. It's like, I like taking care of David, and I like, because he takes care of me, you know, so it's okay.
As part of Orthodox Jewish beliefs, after childbirth, a husband and wife abstain from all forms of physical contact, including holding hands and sleeping in the same bed.
Within the Jewish religion, there are certain times where a married couple is meant to abstain from an intimate relationship, and after childbirth is one of those times. This is one of the things that we feel is important, and it's how we chose to have this experience.
This period of time is not always easy.
Don't even look at me with that face, David. There's no chance. Thank God that this is like what we believe in and what we do, because if it wasn't, you know, I'd have to buy a shotgun. You know? I mean, it's really clever how things work, because it's like the wisdom behind it, you know, like you're not allowed to have like physical intimacy for, you know, this amount of time after giving birth, and you know, it's just clever, because this is the time where like this is like literally the last thing that I want to like have to do, you know, like giving birth is no joke.
What's wrong with a hug?
So it's not that there's anything wrong with the hug, and I'm certainly not an expert, but there is a Jewish concept of building a fence around situations. So it's
a hug leads to other things.
Yeah, and yeah.
You see?
It's not specifically that it would necessarily lead to other things, but that's the concept, is that you protect through building a fence. So that's why you wouldn't hug. So it might seem strange, but it actually makes a lot of sense. And, yeah.
If you can't hug and you can't touch, what do?
you talk. Actually, when you're not touching, like your communication, your emotional communication kind of grows. Because I think we don't realise it, but we become like very reliant on touching to communicate emotionally. So when that isn't there, especially in times which are more emotional, you have to really make an effort to kind of communicate your feelings through how you talk to each other and through how you act to each other.
Life for our couples revolves around baby.
Our relationship probably changed because instead of it being me and Amy and looking after Amy, we were both more concerned about looking after Eva Louise. So we changed. I think we changed instantaneously, to be honest.
The bedroom is a hard and fast baby zone, and mum's bodies are the property of baby, too. Relationships when there's a newborn can be tense. And feeling sexy enough for sex after giving birth can be tough.
Yeah, I've had to share Amy's breasts with Eva because obviously she was breastfeeding.
I was always under the illusion, not to be crude, that it would leave a big gaping hole and never go back to normal.
I felt at times that I was like, oh my God, what happens if he doesn't fancy me anymore? I'm going to have a wobbly belly, or, am I ever going to look the same down there again?
Eventually, Amy and I will get back to, or have that relationship where Amy's body is, mine, and my body is Amy's again.
Paul and Caroline live in Blackpool. They are 10 years married and parents to baby Lola.
Lola, I love ya millions.
Paul is in the army and only home on weekends, leaving Kaz to raise Lola on her own.
You alright, gorgeous? What you doing?
Whilst Paul is away, Kaz and Lola live in a mum and baby bubble.
They're really tall, like you're gonna be.
A very long way away from the world of sex and men.
At first she was so young and things, it got a little bit lonely because she was just sleeping a lot and didn't really do much, whereas now we have like fun-filled days and it's brilliant, it's amazing.
Monday to Friday, they only have eyes for each other.
I get so much quality time with her, 24/7, with her constantly. She's just always attached to me.
As well as living in a baby world and only seeing her husband at weekends, Kaz has got used to her body belonging to Lola. And the thought of being intimate with Paul again is scary.
Kaz was a bit paranoid about having sex because she thinks like her body's been ruined and this, that and the other.
And it'd hurt.
And it'd hurt as well, obviously. I can understand that.
Can you? His friend's terminology of his missus giving birth was, it's like your favourite pub burning down. So I was thinking, right, he's never gonna ever want to go back there again.
I was happy just waiting, but she understood. She understood that I'd want to have sex whenever she was ready, and literally whenever she was ready.
So that's like the hot bit.
Paul has been away on duty for weeks and is about to take some leave. Kaz has made a special effort this time.
It's hard because you really have to make a conscious effort to make time for each other, because I could quite easily, as soon as he got home, walk through the door and say, babe, I'm going to go to bed. But I make myself stay up a little bit with him. I make myself, try and make a bit more of an effort and, so we can be like intimate with each other and stuff. But you've got to really work hard at it because it is very difficult to find time for each other.
For Claire and Malcolm, parents to 6-week-old baby Darcy, giving up sex while Claire heals from labour is frustrating.
I didn't want it to be the elephant in the room as well. I didn't want it to make me scared, and I didn't want to get to that point and was like, oh, I don't know if I can. It's 2 months now, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel, and I didn't want the emotional side to take over and that fear. I just wanted to kind of get back to
psychological barriers. I
just wanted to get back to the way things were. Yeah.
This couple have always had a passionate relationship. While Claire heals, they get buffed up instead. Malcolm is as ready as can be.
She's come out of the shower this morning and she's there, and I look at her with lust and desire, and she's like, you know, stop it, you know. So.
Mal can just switch on his mojo, where for me, I can't just do that, not at the moment.
When Claire got pregnant with Darcy, she and Malcolm were still in the honeymoon phase of their relationship. After giving birth, she felt different.
I felt at times that I was like, oh my God, what happens if he doesn't fancy me anymore? I'm going to have a wobbly belly.
I'm not happy when I'm a chubber. Never am. So I can't help it.
I was worried, but you kept just reassuring me all the time. I love you, I want to be with you, I fancy you. And even to the point where you're supposed to have that gap from labour to having intercourse again, we were a bit desperate, weren't we? It was like, oh, for God's sake, hurry up.
I fancy something rotten.
They attempted to sleep together 4 weeks after the birth, but it was too painful.
I am scared, actually, because you just don't know when you're going to be healed and right.
There was a barrier that was sort of like, we got to a line, we can't cross this line yet. But it's a sensible barrier because of the risk of infection, because of the wounds and everything else. So bang, remember the compartment, you know, you go, we can't do that because...
Not for us at all.
Get the straps, tie you down and, you know, that's it. Give you something
I just can't see it being a problem. Really.
Give you a toilet roll to hold on to. Yeah. The reason is there, so you've got to accept the reason. However, when the reason goes away, then you've got to try and get back to normality.
As prescribed by Jewish law, David and Marilia adhere to a period of abstinence from physical contact after childbirth.
Oh gosh, I hate getting my eyebrows done.
Once this period ends, a Jewish woman goes through a cleansing ritual called a mikveh.
So how long do you go without touching each other?
There isn't a prescribed amount of time.
It's linked to the female cycle, right? So
it depends on the woman, but after labor, it's a few weeks.
Oh God.
There's a lot of counting involved, and you have to count days, and it's all very complicated, but it ends up being a few weeks.
A few weeks, yeah.
Mikvah is a very private time. It cleanses you, and it cleanses your body and your soul, and it's really nice because it's a time where you can pray and ask God for all the things that you really want. And last time I went was I prayed to have a baby, and boom. Gotta be careful what I pray for.
A mikveh ritual allows a married couple to return to normal life.
You know, after the mikvah, the couple's allowed to return to like having a physical relationship. And it's nice to have something, to have something planned, to look forward to it, to miss each other. Very nice.
When it comes to bringing up a baby, there are personal obstacles to overcome and lessons to be learned.
How did this happen?
Our couples find that some things are worth fighting for, and that others are definitely worth the wait.
Why did we go on a date? I think it's important to have your time together, whether it's an hour or an evening, and even if it's just for a walk in the park or going out for a quick drink or dinner.
Our mindset, I suppose, had changed, that there was a baby in our room now, and we were more concerned about her than, I suppose, having sex.
It's hard because you really have to make a conscious effort to make time for each other.
Charlie and Lynn were on the verge of breaking up. They had grown apart after the birth of their son Harvey and had stopped communicating. One morning, Charlie made a sudden decision.
I had enough of my job. I wanted to get out. I was working and I thought, I'm fed up. So I literally put down my tools, and I took a little walk. Maybe I secretly knew it wasn't the relationship, it was me. I think I was depressed with where my life was heading, not with Harvey, not with Lynn. That's why I called her and we talked about that, and I said, let's just move. I'll leave my work, we move, we'll start again.
What we had before Harvey came along was so strong and so special that you can't just give up on the first sign of trouble. You know, you have to try. Harvey was only a little baby, and it's normal for strong relationships to go through rocky times when there's a newborn. We had a strong relationship before.
I still have.
Yeah.
And just the fact that we're planning on picking up and leaving and starting an even harder life together, just in a new place and that, it just shows how strong we are. We do argue like cat and dog.
Yeah, no.
And it's, we do love each other and we do have passion for each other, but we're just like everyone else. I mean, we argue a lot. We do. We argue about washing up, we argue about cleaning.
Because you never do it.
We argue about who's going to put Harvey to bed, and argue about working while she's staying at home and doing nothing.
I'm not doing nothing.
I know, but I'm just joking. But we argue a lot, but we also love each other a lot. We're just like everyone else.
We didn't want to break up. We wanted to give it a go. We wanted to try and work things out. We're not people who give up. We'd made something amazing, and we weren't just going to give up just like that.
Where are we looking?
Melksham.
Lynn and Charlie started house hunting. No more second thoughts, no more doubts.
If we paid the same price as we paid for this flat there, you can get a mansion.
2 months that's been up for. Yeah. You could get them down to 700.
I reckon you could. I think I should make a phone call to these people.
Hello, Den, it's Lynn calling. I spoke to you yesterday regarding the 3-bedroom semi-detached in Bowman Court. Also, we've just seen there's a 2-bedroom bungalow on Snarlton Lane. Is the rent negotiable at all?
Is there negotiations?
They've decided to move 120 miles west to the country, close to Lynn's family, where they can get the support with Harvey they need.
I definitely understand why some couples can, split up when they've had a child, because it changes you.
Having a baby challenges a relationship in ways that few are prepared for. Once effortless love is pushed to the limit and back. Amy and Stuart feel the stretch at times.
It was hard. I had to start to understand that actually Stuart had been at work all day and he was getting home and he was tired. That time of night was always our time. We had to let go of that when Eva came, because we'd always come in from work, straight upstairs, both of us in our PJs, and then that was just our quiet time for the rest of the evening. And that was always our routine for years, and then Eva came and that completely got disrupted.
We were snappy at each other, and we after a while we both understood what was going to make each other snap.
Don't start with me just before I'm going.
And so I would push those buttons sometimes to create a reaction, and I'm sure Amy did the same for me.
It's very well known that I'm not the most domesticated of people.
You just mix some of that in there, and then...
Yeah.
I'm quite messy at times, but juggling having Eva and doing everything else at the same time, being able to grab something to eat whilst looking after her, and just having to do 1,000,001 things, the house would be quite a mess when Stuart got home. I probably did leave a cupboard open on purpose, or a tea bag in the sink. That's always a winner if you do want to get up his nose. Tea bags in the sink when the sink's right next to the bin. He doesn't like that one.
She wasn't very well house trained, I don't think. And so this was what she would normally do anyway, but because we were both quite snappy, I knew that as soon as I said anything to her, she'd be straight down my throat, and more so than normal.
Spending any intimate time together is not something Amy and Stuart have had too much time to do either.
Whatever stage it's been, I always fancied Amy and I always thought she was beautiful. But when she's, I suppose, having had the baby, it's not that I didn't fancy her, but you know, she wasn't really able to have sex.
Our main focus was Eva Louise and having this baby here, so it wasn't, oh, well, we're not having sex anymore, or it's been this long and we've not done it. It was something that we knew that we had to put to one side, and we knew that we'd pick it back up again at some point when we're ready.
It's not just their sex life that's taken a back seat. Their social life is a distant memory. So Amy has decided to throw a surprise 30th birthday party for Stuart.
Stuart's party favours. Stuart's 30th birthday on the front. Before Eva, he said that he would like a party for his 30th, but since Eva's come along, he's just had no energy to sort anything out. So I think he's a bit gutted that we've not organised anything. So yeah, hopefully he'll be happy with it.
A little package. Little baby. Little baby. Right, wouldn't you, little baby? You are so cute. You are so cute.
All is well in the David and Marilia household. They are raising baby Gabriella, now 2 months old, and continuing to adhere to Jewish law, which prohibits any form of physical contact for a period after childbirth.
When we're not in physical contact, we're in more emotional contact.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the emotional side of our relationship and our connectedness develops more when we're in that period of abstinence.
And in a situation where you've just had a baby, it's a very emotional time, and it's not a very physical time, because you know the woman's body is just been through a major trauma, you know, and it's not the right time to express yourself physically.
At some point, in the fullness of time, a Jewish couple will resume their normal married life together.
No, get off! I made it!
You've got a son in your hands.
Mums, dads and babies are sharing the love. And when there are 3 people in the relationship, things need a lot of work. Our couples start remembering who they once were.
You know, you still love each other, you still fancy each other, you've still both produced this amazing son, daughter, whatever you may have had, and you still have all those emotions, and you know, you still fancy each other.
Nothing's ever going to be plain sailing.
It's never going to be what you dream.
Yeah, it never. Things just never like that.
It's like being a virgin again, isn't it?
All good now, though.
Pardon?
All good now.
Oh, God.
Claire and Malcolm are going out.
Yes.
Malcolm has booked a table at a favourite restaurant to try and get Claire out of the house and away from beloved baby Darcy. Just for a little while.
Wow, I feel tall!
Claire's mum has stepped in so that Malcolm has a fighting chance of them having a romantic evening together.
Hark.
Sorted.
Oh, you look beautiful, darling.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really do.
Cheers. She's asleep.
What are you doing?
Yes. Just text me or phone me if you have any problems.
Dropped out.
Yeah, have a good time, you two. Yeah, enjoy yourselves and don't worry.
It felt odd because one or either of us had the baby at any stage the previous 8 weeks, at any sort of time, or was looking after her at any time. And all of a sudden, we were leaving her behind and going out the door. But I did keep all the way down to the sort of restaurant. I was going, I've forgotten something. And then when we got there, we got to the restaurant door and I went, oh, God, the baby. You know, as a jokey thing, and I got slapped for that.
Why did we go on a date? I think it's important to have your time together, whether it's an hour or an evening, and even if it's just for a walk in the park or going out for a quick drink or dinner.
Dinner is something Malcolm and Claire know how to do. Like most couples, they used to spend lots of quality time together, eating. Both Claire and Malcolm want a taste of the good old days.
We can have a pre-dessert hug. Post-meal pre-dessert hug.
But letting go is harder for Claire.
The first night was hard, the first day, because I just kept thinking about leaving Darcy and her being at home and me not being there. So I did find it hard to unwind and relax.
You are anxious, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm worried that my mum can't cope.
She's got our numbers, and I've purposely brought us to a pub where we get no signal. Okay? So... we sat down and had dinner. It was nice. But I could see Claire was not overly anxious, but there was an edge to sitting there without Darcy being next to us.
When it comes to who to focus on, Darcy or Malcolm, Darcy wins, hands down.
I want to make sure Darcy's all right. It's 9 o'clock. I should be texting my mum, which I'm going to do. I need to text her though now.
I know.
She's not even going to tell me the truth. Even if I say it's all okay, she's going to lie. She's probably screaming her head off.
I was really proud of the way that Claire took to the whole thing. She had the odd moment, and I mean the really odd moment when, you know, I sort of comforted her and said, this is the way we, you know, this is how things are now, and this is what you got to do, this is what we have to do to move forward. But you're all right, yeah?
Yeah, fine. I just... I don't know. It's odd.
It's odd, but we've got to get used to it.
Paul is heading home to his wife Caroline for some much anticipated time off. For this couple, time together is precious.
Right, it's Friday. I'm on a train, heading home. I can't wait to see my girls.
Caroline and Lola have been as one these past weeks. For her to take some time to herself before Paul gets home, she needs support from Mum. Now there is the prospect of her and Paul being intimate. She's very much aware that her body has changed a lot since giving birth.
I am pleased that I've lost my weight so quickly, but I have got stretch marks. And Paul's like, they're not bad, they're only little, but I really hate them. I can't stand them. Yeah, I want to know how you felt. Like, seeing that can't have been a dream.
Kaz thinks, like, because I watched the birth, that it was horrific and all that lot, and like I had bad memories, sort of thing, and like having sex would like ruin it because I've seen labour and all that.
I don't really feel good about myself anymore. Like, she's totally ruined my boobs and the horrendous. And obviously, I don't know. There's just little areas that I just feel are a bit wobbly and stuff. But I mean, I felt like that before, so I think I'll always feel like that. Kaz being Kaz, she's a bit like, oh, I don't feel sexual. I don't look sexual. I'm like, you have to obviously give her compliments because she thinks she didn't look sexy, and I was like, yes, you do.
Paul is back in Blackpool for a very special homecoming.
You have your up and down days at work, and you might have had a long day or whatever, and the morale's pretty low, and then I get a picture or a video of Lola, and it just cheers me up, and I have a little smile, and that it's good. It's good to get the picture messages and the videos off Kaz. She's been good sending them. 3 weeks. 3 weeks away. Hi, baby. You alright?
Absence has made these hearts grow fonder.
She's the mother of my daughter, and she's still my wife. She's not changed. She's just given birth.
And I asked him straight after, did it feel any different? And he said, no, not at all. And I didn't feel any different.
Absolutely fine now. Bang on.
Lynn and Charlie are moving to Wiltshire. But Charlie is going on ahead of Lynn and Harvey. He's off to stay with Lynn's parents to set up a new job and a new life. He says goodbye to Harvey first.
I'm leaving today, which is Monday. It's quite sad actually, because I've got to leave Harvey. So it's going to be a long week without him. I don't want to be apart from them. They don't want to be apart from me. I'll be going to work and coming home and... okay, our parents are nice people, but it's going to be quite boring and lonely, especially without Harvey. I don't want to miss him saying anything or doing anything new. Who knows, he could be crawling soon, and if I miss that, I'm going to be gutted. I'm going to give him a last bath before I go. It was kind of my thing that I did for him. I didn't fed him, but I bathed him. 1, 2, 3. Covering up your manhood.
What makes it worth it?
Just seeing him. Watching him grow very quickly. Seeing him roll around the floor. Just seeing him happy.
Good luck. See you in a few days.
Bye-bye.
Charlie will be away from Lynn and Harvey for 3 long months.
Feels lonely already. A bit strange not having him around. I don't know, I don't know if I can imagine living like this for the next 3 months, because I don't think it's healthy at all to be apart from him. It's okay, baby.
But Dad has gone to find his family a fresh start. This is their one shot to make things right. Amy has decided to focus on giving the man she loves a great night. A reminder of how much she cares for his 30th birthday. She's hired the golf club.
Family means everything to me, to be honest. Not just my family, you know, extended family as in Amy's family. And it means a lot to me, and I'd happily stay at home and look after Amy and Eva than go out, have a skinful of booze, come in and be hungover, not want to look after Eva because I'm hungover, or, you know, not have quality time at the weekend with the girls, because ultimately, you know, there's only a 2-day weekend, and my time, I feel, is more precious and spent with the family than going out, you know, drinking alcohol all weekend. And I think that's the commitment I knew was in me, because hence having the baby, I don't think if I wasn't ready to spend my weekends with my family, then I wouldn't have had a child.
Giving Stuart some time with friends and family and a break from looking after Eva is Amy's real present to him.
Straight in, had a drink put in my hand, and then baby needed feeding. So I'm just gonna have to keep going to the toilet and hand expressing, otherwise I'm just gonna fill up the glamour.
Finally, this couple have earned a moment to catch their breath and take some time out from the baby bubble and reconnect with others they care about.
The one thing that I wanted to have for Eva Louise is that, or any child that I ever had, was to make sure they had a solid home to come back to. And I think when I was younger and played football at 12, 13 years old, there was only 8 out of 17 of us that still had a mum and dad at home. And I really appreciated, you know, my mum and dad being there, you know, and still do, you know, the total solid unit. And so for Eva Louise not to have that, I think it would be really sad. And so, in my mind, the arguments that Amy and I had and have, is it enough to walk away from such massive people in my life? No. And I don't think that will happen, hence why we're getting married next year. You know, committing to having a child and to getting married, you don't do that unless you're 100%, and I am.